Hi there, and welcome back to Blooming Excellence. Today, we're diving into a super handy Google Sheets feature, how to freeze rows and columns. If you've ever scrolled down or sideways in a large dataset and lost track of which row or column you're looking at, this is for you. Let's get started. So here's the dataset we'll be working with. It's a simple sales report with information like months, regions, salespersons, and more. As you can see, it's a bit lengthy and detailed, making it a perfect example to learn how freezing works. Now, imagine you're scrolling down through the rows to check data from November and December. Without freezing, the header row disappears, and you can't tell which column is which. Pretty frustrating, right? Freezing solves this problem by locking certain rows or columns in place so they stay visible no matter how far you scroll. Let's see how to do that. Let's start by freezing the header row. Here's how. Click on the View menu at the top. Hover over Freeze, and you'll see options like No Rows, One Row, and more. Select One Row, and just like that, the header row is locked in place. Now, if I scroll down, the header stays visible, making it so much easier to navigate. Next, let's see how to freeze a column. Now let's freeze the first column. This is useful when you want to track data like months while scrolling across horizontally. Again, go to the View menu, hover over Freeze, and this time, select one column, and there you go, the first column is now frozen. Even as I scroll sideways, I can still see the months clearly. Now let's see how to freeze more rows. What if you want to freeze more than just the header row or the first column? Let's say you want to freeze the first 3 rows. Place your cursor in the cell up to which rows you want to freeze. For example, click on cell A3 if you want to freeze the first 3 rows. Then go to the View menu, hover over Freeze, and select up to row 3. Now, if I scroll down, the top 3 rows stays visible, making it so much easier to navigate. Next, let's see how to freeze more columns. Similarly, if you want to freeze up to 3 columns, then place your cursor in the cell up to which the columns need to be frozen. For example, place the cursor in C3. Then, go to the View menu, hover over Freeze, and select up to column C. That's it. Now, the columns up to column C are frozen. Now that we've learned how to freeze rows and columns, let's quickly go over how to unfreeze them if you ever need to make changes or just want to remove the freeze. It's really simple. First, go to the View menu at the top of your Google Sheets. Hover over the Freeze option, and you'll see the No Rows and No Columns options. To unfreeze rows, simply click on No Rows. Similarly, if you want to unfreeze columns, hover over the Freeze option, click on No Columns. And that's it. Your rows and columns are now unfrozen, and you can scroll freely again. And that's it. Freezing rows and columns in Google Sheets is such a simple yet powerful trick to stay organized and focused while working on data. If you found this tutorial helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Blooming Excellence for more easy-to-follow Google Sheets tips and tricks. Also, let me know in the comments what you'd like to learn next. Your feedback really helps me create the content you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep blooming.